Good afternoon, Your Honor. Natea Scott on behalf of the people, P 78816. Good afternoon.
Renee Cooper for Mr. Watson. Sir, give us your full name.
John Watson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Watson. Right, we're here for a continued bond hearing, and the court ordered on that date that the jail would arrange for Mr. Watson to have a psychological evaluation by January 21st.
I don't know, Judge. He indicates that he had a doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist come and interview him in the jail. If they did not send you a report, I just don't have any control over it.
I don't have a report.
Yeah.
And I would also indicate that my notes reflect that Mr. Watson's sister was anticipated to join us. I don't see anyone on Zoom. Mr. Watson, sir, do you know whether your sister was intending to join us today?
Sister, she's at work. She's worked from 7 to 7. She said she said I can come on to her house. She said you able to call her. She says you able to call her whenever you at the hours of 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. He has a new company. She said she would love to come.
One moment, Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, about what time do you think your sister would be
My
taking a
sister
break?
said she worked from
Mr. Watson, I heard that. I need you to listen to my question, okay? About what time do you think your sister would be breaking while she's at work? Because she has to
can't
have a
break.
break.
She can't break. She worked 5 days a week. She's through a new company. That's what I'm saying. This is my sister. She said, what is the problem? Because I'm gonna be on teller and y'all gonna know my location. She can't lead she can't lead her facility. She just started this new company. And she said she would love
Mr. Watson, I'm gonna ask once more. At what time do you think your sister will take a break?
I don't know if she said she
I'm
can't.
still talking. Everyone who works gets a break. That's the law. So we can find out what time she takes a break so that we can get her on the phone or get her on Zoom. Because if the court is not able to speak to her, I may as well just cancel this hearing. There's no way that I'm going to even consider releasing you if I haven't been able to speak to her. And I want to be very certain, I'm not saying that I'm going to release you, but for me to make a determination whether to release you, I need to speak to her.
You can try to call her right now. I don't even know her break, but I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. This don't even make no
So,
sense to me.
Mr. Watson, I think what you're saying is because you don't understand why I'm telling you I need something that I shouldn't need it. I think it would be better for you to stop talking.
Just for informational purposes, Judge, I was able to talk to his sister. And his sister indicates that she's very happy to have him living with her, but that she's not going to be responsible for the bond. She's not putting anything toward the bond, but he's certainly welcome to come and live with her.
Well, I'm happy to know that, but if I were to grant Mr. Watson bond, at the very least, I would be requiring his sister to agree to report any violations of the conditions of his bond. So the bond is going to remain the same until I can speak with Mrs. Sister.
She doesn't have much
Officer,
time or something.
about the psychological.
Sorry, Chris.
Yes.
It said he spoke on the 19th with Dr. Hayes, the psychiatrist.
Dr. Hayes.
Hayes.
And-
And I'll have, if you want a copy of that report, I'll have to get medical records to see if they need it for-
I do need a copy. So I'm sorry, what date was that he was evaluated?
It's a January 19th.
How long do you think it would take for us to get a copy of the report?
I think I'll have to remember. So,
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go off the record, and wait for the date. Just one moment.
Judge, before we do that, could I be heard?
Yes.
I and Mr. Watson simply cannot work together. I don't want to go into all of the specifics, but he sees Miss Scott and I talking, and he says, y'all are working something. Today, it's even more than y'all are working something. It's I'm working for her. I can't continue to hear that kind of complaint. And there's so many more complaints. Mr. Watson and I cannot work together. There's a breakdown. We're never gonna be well with each other.
Well, you've been practicing long enough to know whether that's the case, Mr. Cooper. And so, on your word that there's been a breakdown between you and Mr. Watson, I have no choice but to release you and appoint new counsel for Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, that is very likely going to delay your trial, which is scheduled for March 17th, because your new attorney will need enough time to prepare for your trial. So, and I need to have a trial date in mind as part of my bond consideration. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep the March 17th trial date. Although, Ms. Scott, it won't be a trial date, it will be a pre-trial. So that we can get someone appointed to Mr. Watson. And we really need to have someone appointed before March 17th, though, now that I'm thinking about it. We'll keep the March 17th date as a pre-trial date, but we're going to get Mr. Watson appointed counsel sooner than that. We'll work on that off the record, and we'll contact everyone and let you know when we have someone so that we can bring that person in immediately for
Can I say
a
something? Your Honor?
calendar conference. No, sir. And it's really not in your interest to do so without counsel.
I didn't even, that's crazy, man. Y'all just.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Now
Now what you're doing, Mr. Watson,
That's
is
crazy.
you're flirting with.
Watson, we're not done here.
I
told the judge that we're done. We're not done.
Bond's wrong. I didn't even do anything. This is bullshit, man. They just trying to lie to get a conviction. I didn't do anything. That's
So-
crazy. I did everything you asked me to do for months. I sat on my hands. I'm in the county jail sick. I didn't do anything. They work together. I asked this man,
By
can
the
he
way,
call my sister on a break?
officers, I have in my notes
Oh, you
that
can take me
Mr.
back. I don't even.
Stop talking, Mr.
I didn't
Watson.
do anything, man. I'm
Okay.
innocent of this.
Can you
shit.
take
I
him
did
out
everything
so
you
that
asked
we
me
can
to
watch
do.
it up?
Thank you.
I did everything you asked me to do, man.
Okay.
This guy be.
We have to wait for the officers to come back because I have a question. Yes, but officer, I have a quick question. I have in my notes that defendant wasn't taking his medication in December. Has he been taking his medication? I wanted to confirm whether he's been given his medication. I have in my notes from December that he wasn't. I did, but I just want to confirm whether he's getting his medications. Okay, so let's check about the medication as well. What's a good date to come back, Madam Clerk? Because we probably can get an attorney within the next week. And Ms. Scott, do you have a preference for a date?
No, Your Honor, I don't. At 9 a.m.?
What time?
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you then, Ms. Scott. Thank you for your patience today.
Thank you.
That'll be a pre-trial judge or?
Yes. Thank you.